Hello everyone. Today's topic is what is disease? For us, what is the meaning of disease? For us means for a homeopath, what is the meaning of disease? And during case taking, what actually we have to consider in respect to the disease and what is important for us in the selection of homeopathic medicine to cure a particular patient. Okay, so let us see what is the meaning of disease or what is the definition given by Dr. Hahnemann for disease through organon of medicine. Okay, so disease is this definition is given in aphorism number 11. When a person falls ill, it is only the spiritual self-acting automatic vital force everywhere present in his organism that is primarily deranged. So disease means the derangement of a vital force. Okay, Dr. Hahnemann further says, by the dynamic influence upon it of a morbific agent inimical to life, it is only the vital force deranged to such an abnormal state that can furnish the organism with its disagreeable sensations and incline it to the irregular process which we call disease. Okay, so these irregular processes, disagreeable sensation is nothing but a disease. Derangement of vital force is nothing but a disease. Okay, so how we will be able to understand the person is ill? By the presentation of morbid symptoms. Okay, its morbid derangement only makes itself known by the manifestation of disease in the sensations and functions of those parts of the organism exposed to the senses of the observer and physician, that is by morbid symptoms. Okay, so the disease means the derangement of vital force, and the after the derangement of vital force, the presentation of disease is like the morbid symptoms in the form of morbid sensations or changes in the phenomena or functions of the body. Okay, this is the meaning of disease for us. After understanding what is disease, what actually we have to consider in case taking part. Okay, what is the main thing while taking a case? What is the thing which we have to consider or we have to give more importance to for selection of homeopathic medicine? So for that purpose, Dr. Hahnemann has given the information about the data or the information about the morbid phenomena in aphorism number 5 and 6. In aphorism number 5, Dr. Hahnemann says, in acute cases, we need to give importance to exciting cause. Okay, and in chronic cases, we need to give importance to fundamental cause. Okay, exciting cause can be anything at mental level as well as at physical level, which is responsible to start the disease process in a particular patient. In chronic cases, the cause is a fundamental cause. Fundamental cause means the chronic miasm, psora, psychosis and syphilis. Okay, along with these two things, means along with the cause part, we have to consider other things also during case taking, mainly in chronic cases. Okay, so what is given by Dr. Hahnemann? The physical constitution of the patient, especially when the disease is chronic, his moral, intellectual character, his occupation, mode of living and habits, his social domestic relations, his age, sexual functions, etc., are to be taken into consideration. Okay, so during this process of investigation, means during case taking, in acute case we have to consider exciting cause, and in chronic case we have to consider a fundamental cause, that is the chronic miasm, and along with this we have to investigate about few points which are moral, intellectual character, physical constitution, his occupation, his relation at domestic, his social and domestic relationship, mode of living and habits, his sexual function, his age. All these things we have to consider during case taking. Okay, further in aphorism number 6, Dr. Hahnemann has explained more about the disease, what we have to actually consider during case taking. Okay, so in that aphorism number 6, Dr. Hahnemann says the unprejudiced observer, well aware of the futility of transcendental speculations which can receive no confirmation from experience, be his powers of penetration ever so great, takes note of nothing in every individual disease except the changes in the health of the body and of the mind. Okay, so what we have to concentrate more during case taking is we have to note down the changes in the health at the level of body as well as mind. Okay, so he notices only the deviations from the former healthy state of the now deceased individual, which are felt by the patient himself, remarked by those around him, and observed by the physician. Okay, so the changes in healthy state or the deviations from the healthy state, these deviation changes we have to consider during case taking. We should not consider what was present during his healthy state. We should consider the changes present right now in disease state. We have to consider these changes for the selection of homeopathic remedy. Okay, so these deviations from the healthy state or changes from the healthy state at the level of body as well as mind, we have to take note of all these things. Okay, so exciting cause in acute case, fundamental cause in chronic case, then other things like his moral, intellectual functions and all those things. Then the deviations means the changes in healthy state, what is present right now, what has been changed since the patient is ill, since the patient is not well, those things we have to take note of. Okay, after collecting all these changes, deviations during case taking, further we have to go deep into it, and then we have to differentiate between the collected data into two categories like common symptoms and characteristic symptoms. Okay, so we should not take all these symptoms for the totality and select a remedy which is covering most of the symptoms and prescribe that remedy, but we have to consider, we have to differentiate those symptoms into two categories, common symptoms and characteristic symptoms. Why we have to do this? Dr. Hahnemann says we need to do this process because only characteristic symptoms will help us to select the right homeopathic medicine for the state of the disease presented to us. Okay, and these common symptoms will not help us for the selection of correct homeopathic remedy which will be useful for the patient. So where it is given by Dr. Hahnemann, it is given by Dr. Hahnemann in aphorism number 153. Okay, in this search for a homeopathic specific remedy, that is to say, in this comparison of the collective symptoms of the natural disease with the list of symptoms of known medicines. Okay, here in first line Dr. Hahnemann says in the search for a homeopathic specific remedy. Okay, homeopathic specific remedy means not specific to the particular disease, like specific remedy for diabetes, specific for hemorrhoids, specific for coryza and all like this. Dr. Hahnemann doesn't mean this thing. What is the meaning of this line? Homeopathic specific remedy means specific for that particular individual, deceased individual. Okay, means homeopathic or means specific to the presentation given by that deceased individual at that moment. Okay, so we have to give a homeopathic specific remedy, that is to say, in this comparison of the collective symptoms of the natural disease with the list of symptoms of known medicines, in order to find among these an artificial morbific agent corresponding by similarity to the disease to be cured. The more striking, singular, uncommon, and peculiar characteristic signs and symptoms of the case of disease are chiefly and most solely to be kept in view. Okay, so which symptoms to be given more importance? The more striking, singular, uncommon, peculiar characteristic signs and symptoms, because these symptoms will help us to select the correct homeopathic medicine which will be useful to the patient. Okay, for it is more particularly these that very similar ones in the list of the symptoms of the selected medicine must correspond to. Okay, so we have to match these symptoms, these characteristic symptoms, these more striking, singular, uncommon, and peculiar characteristic signs and symptoms with the symptoms of the medicine, symptoms present in the medicine. We need to correspond these symptoms of the selected medicine with the symptoms presented by the patient in order to constitute it the most suitable for effecting the cure. Okay, the more general and undefined symptoms like loss of appetite, headache, debility, restless sleep, discomfort, and so forth demand but little attention when of that vague and indefinite character. So these common symptoms are not important for us for the selection of remedy if they are not characterized, or they are indefinite, or they are presented in a vague form. Okay, so these symptoms are not important to us and we should not concentrate on those symptoms for the selection of homeopathic remedy. If they cannot be more accurately described, as symptoms of such a general nature are observed in almost every disease and from almost every drug. Okay, so these common symptoms are not important for us. What is important for us is the most striking, singular, uncommon, peculiar characteristic signs and symptoms. Okay, so try to understand this from these aphorisms. What is the meaning of disease? What actually we have to consider in acute disease and in chronic disease? What is actually we have to collect from the case, and which symptoms will help us for the selection of correct homeopathic remedy, and which symptoms are not important for us for the selection of homeopathic remedy. So if we follow all this, then only we will be able to achieve our goal, or we will be able to achieve our mission. What is our mission? The physician's high and only mission is to restore the sick to health, to cure, as it is termed, which is given in aphorism number 1. To restore the sick to health, to bring back the diseased state into the healthy state. Okay, so to achieve that mission, we have to understand what is actually important for us in the case, and which type of symptoms we have to give more importance. Okay, so in this video I'm going to talk only about this part, disease part. In future videos I will go with another topic. If you like this video, if you feel this video is informative, then please share it with your colleagues, your friends, And if you like to listen to more videos in future, then please subscribe this channel. The name of the channel is Internal Dynamis. Okay, so this is for today's video. Thank you very much. We will meet in future videos. Thank you.